What's up, guys? Quick update. This car's a piece of shit. I really hate saying it, but it's kind of a piece of shit. Today's the first day I drove it for a relatively long distance, and immediately there were a few problems that I couldn't stand at all. First of all, as I mentioned in the previous videos, the front left shock is blown, and now I think the front right shock, the passenger side shock, is not really in good condition either, because on the freeway when I'm going over like a small hump, the whole car is gonna be for like, I don't know, at least 20 seconds, just like that. You know what I'm saying? Then my dumbass removed the hole, the factory cover for the hole on the firewall that was designed for clutch system. And now every single time I open the window, oh, by the way, since the AC doesn't work, I open the window, and every single time I open the window, since there's a low pressure created, it just sucks the air from those little two holes going out of the window. And since the two holes sucks the air from the engine bay, now every single time I open the window, my upper body gets cooled down and my legs are getting cooked because the air is from the engine bay. You know what I'm saying? And what else? Oh, the AC, the ticking AC pump. I don't know what's wrong with it, but it clicks in once in a while, like every 30-40 seconds. It triggers the check engine light every single time it clicks. Even when the AC is off, it just like kicks in once in a while as well. It's really weird. I think it's either the control panel or the relay is bad. So I don't know. I need to figure it out. But for now, for today, I'm gonna block off the two holes on the firewall and then disconnect the AC. And then I need to change the shocks, which means I need to take the coilovers off of that car in the background and then put the coilovers on this car tonight. And I am super sleepy right now. It was so busy today. Wish me luck. Let's get it. Starting with removing the center cap, I thought I needed a special tool for this, but turned out a flathead screwdriver works just fine. Now pry it off, play around with the dust. It's actually not dust, it's the chrome that peeled off of the wheel is really nasty. Use a breaker bar, loosen up all the bolts, and then you can jack up the car even higher. Zap all the bolts out. Remove the wheel, set it aside, don't put it too far, you're going to use it later on. Now the first thing we do is removing the front sway bar end link. Get a 5/8 open wrench, it gotta be an open wrench. Make sure to get your face dirty, stick your head inside of your car just to make sure everything fits right. And then get a 13mm socket, loosen it up from the outside, and once you're done with that, put everything back together so you don't lose any nuts, any bolts, or any washer. Now we're going to remove all three of the lines. First one is the brake line. I believe the second one or the third one is a speed sensor of some sort or a ABS sensor. I don't know. Just remove all of them. Now get an 18mm socket. Again, stick your head inside of your car and remove the number 3 bolts from behind. Since this is the first time that bolt has ever been removed since it came out of the factory, I had to use a jack handle to put it on the end of the ratchet to remove it, because as you can see now, it actually has red Loctite on it. And then remove the other one with an 18mm socket. And then the third point is from the top. So for this one, both sides are 18mm. Use whatever combination you feel the most comfortable with. In my case, I use 2 18mm sockets and 2 ratchets. Once the nut is off, smash the bolt out of the way and put everything back together so you don't lose it. Now, grab a pry bar, or in my case, a flathead screwdriver. Pry the knuckle off of the strut. Grab the wheel that you just took off and put that underneath the knuckle. That way, it's the tire or the wheel handling the weight of the knuckle instead of your 30-year-old brake line. Now you can give the blown, leaky strut a big wiggle, and that big old thing should come right off. Fun fact, the shock fluid is really sticky. I don't know if it's supposed to be like that, but it's just really nasty. You can see how dirty my gloves are. Now throw the old strut into the trash can, change your gloves, and grab your new coilovers. They're not new in my case. And don't worry about the mark on the top hat. That's because my friend Vlad welded the strut tower reinforcement plates for me without taking off the coilovers. Well, I didn't take it off. Now it is a lot easier to put everything back together. You just use one hand to hold it from the bottom and use the other hand to put the nuts on top. Eventually you gotta torque them to 16 foot-pounds. Now you just wiggle everything back together and eventually torque all the 18mm nuts and bolts to 78 foot-pounds. I didn't even bother to torque it down. Oh, what you're looking at right now is me taking off the front sway bar. That's because I didn't know this car had an M3 design or M3 style front sway bar end link, which attached to the front strut instead of the lower control arm like all the other non-M E36s. So since the car is a lot lower than before, the end link that came with the car is too long at this moment. So I am going to remove the end link from the blue car and then put it on this car later on. But as for now, let's finish up the job. Attach all the lines back to the coilover. Hit the brake rotor with some brake clean. Give it a good wipe. Don't forget about the backside. And put the wheel back on. Roughly tighten up the bolts and slowly lower the jack. Just enough for the tire to touch the ground and torque everything to 80 foot-pounds. And then slowly lower the jack and make sure your jack doesn't get stuck underneath the car because your car is a lot lower now. Go through all the bolts for one last time and we are done. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and make sure to tune in for the next video, which is going to be about how to install the rear coilovers on an E36. But as for now, thank you so much for watching. Peace.